Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. This is the decision the Republic of Uganda, Mass Commission Tribunal, held at Mbarara, complaint number UHRC stock Mbarara stock 47 stock 2014. Nabimanya Emmanuel, the complainant, and Anthony Geno, the respondent. The column, Honorable Mariam, Wangadya, the chairperson, Honorable Shifrah, Lukwago, Commissioner, Honorable Jacqueline Atwayirwe, Lukwago, Commissioner, and Honorable Simeo, Nsubuga, Commissioner. This complaint was originally brought on behalf of Nabimanya by Stephen Gina, his father, as per the provision of Article 50, sub-Article 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, hereinafter called the Constitution, as Nabimanya was then incarcerated. Nabimanya is a 45-year-old cattle keeper and resident of Wachitura, Swereche, Keshunga, Nyabusozi, Shifrah district. Prisoner at Shifrah government prison. It was alleged that on 4 September 2014 at around 8 a.m. while Nabimanya and other prisoners were in the ward, a prisoner warder, Wanyama Lakas, ordered them to line up in preparation to get out to go and fetch water. Told him that because he was facing a capital offense, prisoners in that category were excluded from going to the field. Nabimanya said that at that point, word by the pain and injury. It was contended by the Land Director Complaints Investigations and Legal Services, DCILS, hereinafter called the Director, that above alleged action of Wada Wanyama amounted to violation of Nabimanya's right to freedom from torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. Nabimanya sought compensation. The respondent is representative, Misiri Takalembe, denied liability. Whether the respondent's agents violated the complainant's right to protection from torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. This decision is therefore based on the record of proceedings of the former commissioner and partly on our own record. Respondent on the balance of probability. Sections 101 and 102 of the Evidence Act, Cap 6 refer. Right to protection from torture, cruel, inhuman, and is defined under the United Nations Convention Against Torture and other cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, 1984, as suffering, whether physical or mental, is intentionally inflicted on a person for suffering from him or a third person, information or a confession punishing him for an act that the party has committed or is suspected of having committed or intimidating or at the instigation of or with the consent or under Article 44 sub-Article A of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, hereinafter called the Constitution. Under Article 24 of the Constitution, is subjected to any form of torture. Cruel reject his claim that he was beaten on other part of the body besides the head. The evidence support Nabimanya's case that Wada Wanyama hit him on the head, causing him severe pain and injury, was overwhelming. Nabimanya's father, Stephen Gina, testified that upon learning from his other son, Ambikile, Sai son, that Nabimanya had been beaten up by Wada recently in prison. He said before Nabimanya's war head bandaged. End of the quote. We did not find Miss Kalemba's questions to his witness relevant to the case. We are focused on Ambikire's occupation, the name of the warder who had beaten Nabimanya, and whether he had escaped. Gina's testimony remained undisturbed on cross-examination, and we accept it as truthful. Nabimanya's evidence was further strengthened by testimony of Ayebale Rauben, a medical clinical officer at Kashunge LSS Center 3, 2014 at Kirukula LSS Center 4, as follows. I quote, on 4 September 2014, I saw the complainant. I made an observation of a cut wound on the left side of the scalp. I arrested the bleeding. I gave him tetanus shot and tablets to stop the bleeding. I also gave him painkillers. I recommend to the nurse to continue dressing the wound to prevent infection. The wound was consistent with the hitting. On cross-examination by Ms. Rita Kalembe, this witness provided the tribunal with a deeper description of the injury centimeter, and the length was 3 centimeters. I would classify the injury as grievous harm. B complications later, but since he never came back, I imagine it got better. End of the quote. We accept Ayebale Rauben's testimony as truthful. He suffered at the hands of Wada Wanyama. But if Nabimanya needed any further evidence to seal his case against Friday on 20th August 2024, was the regional prison commander, RPC, Greater Kibale. But during the period in issue, he was the officer in speeches similar passion, despite that morning, prisoners were required to go out to work with their first task, being to fetch aid. I quote, Wanyama seems to have adamantly refused to cooperate, despite my efforts to obtain one statement from him. Just that you come and I avail to you what the Wanyama lacks, and you obtain his statement direct from him. End of the quote. When Wanyama finally responded to the commission via his 18th October 2015 letter, he said that on 4 September 2014, he went to the ward and ordered the prisoners to get out and go and fetch water. Some of them remained in bed, including Nabimanya Emmanuel. He added, I quote, I went to him, pointing at him with a stick. He raised up his head with force, which caused the head to collide with the stick accidentally, and got a scratch on the forehead. And they did not attack him. In fact, in the third paragraph of his letter to the commission, is that Wada Wanyama violently and intentionally attacked Nabimanya Emmanuel, who he believed had defied his orders to join the other prisoners to go and fetch water. The testimony of Ayebale Rauben, the MCO who treated Nabimanya on 4 September 2014, showed that the wound was 0.5 centimeter deeper and 0.3 centimeter long. It required stitching. At the time Nabimanya arrived at Kirukula LSS Center 4, he was still bleeding. The injury was classified as grievous harm. Of circumstance shows that it not be true that Wanyama merely pointed the stick at him and his head collided with the stick, causing a scratch on his forehead. What Nabimanya suffered was moderately deep wound on the left side of the head and not a scratch on the forehead. And the scratch would not have necessitated taking him to Chirukula NSS Center 4. It is our observation that Nabimanya Emmanuel had made a compelling case that Wada Wanyama Lakas deliberately and intentionally hit him hard on the head, causing him to suffer a cut wound and bleeding. This occasioned on him severe pain and suffering. The testimonies of Nabimanya himself, his father Stephen Gina, and the medical expert Ivan Lauben neatly fitted with each other in support of Nabimanya's case. Speech is similar. Second issue, whether the complainant is entitled to compensation. We hold that the complainant is entitled to compensation. Articles 50 and 53(2) of the Constitution refer. We proceed to assess general damages for violation of Nabimanya's Emmanuel's right to protection from torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. As a prisoner, Nabimanya was vulnerable. He had surrendered himself fully to the care of the state. He was entitled to safety and protection. The same state agency he expected to protect him are the ones who visited on him untold physical pain and mental agony. This was betrayal. Nabimanya was viciously beaten on the head with a thick and long stick. He suffered a cut on his head which caused him heavy bleeding. The immense physical and mental pain he suffered is seen on his head but also on his face. One of the most delicate parts of their duty to observe, respect human rights and freedoms in the performance of their functions. Article 221 of the Constitution refers. On account of foregoing, we consider a sum of 15 million Uganda cedis adequate compensation to the complainant for the violation of his right to protection from torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. We saw the complainant is allowed. The respondent is ordered to pay the complainant 15 million Uganda cedis as general damages for violation of his right to protection from torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment. 3. The 15 million Uganda cedis will carry interest of 10% per annum from the date hereof until payment is full. Either party certified with this decision is informed of the right to appeal to the High Court of Uganda within 30 days from the date hereof. Dated at Mbarara this day of 26th of August 2025. Signed by Honorable Mariam Wangadya, Chairperson, Honorable Shifrah Lukwago, Commissioner, Honorable Jack Clayt at Kairwe, Kuru, Commissioner, and Honorable Simeo Nsubuga, Commissioner.
Off record, you are representing a client and you can't have to justify for the other side. What? We have the evidence. This one, what was it? Who's that? That is what he's asking. He's asking how is he going to get that? For what?
abona uza kuza wakaso immaturity na kutekereza buri kimwe cyose.
Okay, you are discharged. We have Commissioner Honorable Shifrah Lukwago. And my name is Mariam Wangadya. I'm chairing this session. We have a total of 15 cases. We have just disposed of one where we have delivered a decision. That is the case of Nabimanya Emmanuel versus the Attorney General. And please know that you are free to interview Nabimanya. Is at your disposal. I think he's living a happy man, having successfully prosecuted his case before this tribunal. And so the session has just begun. We are going on, and this session should last this week. And among the cases we are hearing, alleged violations of the right to life, the right to protection from torture, cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment, and the right to personal liberty. So briefly, that's what we are here for. And we will allow 2 questions. Then we resume our session. Meanwhile, we thank you for coming.
Members of the Forces State, the media, you are our eyes and ears on the ground. As you are aware, this period we are approaching is a campaign period. And our history has it that during this period, quite a number of cases of violation of human rights do occur during campaigns. So our appeal to the media, please report these cases the way they are, regardless of who has been involved. Because in our method of work, we don't know, so for us we are handling all Ugandans regardless of their status. So if someone has violated someone's rights, please, media, every person report these cases, as you are aware that we are mandated by the Constitution even to investigate on our own without somebody coming up with a complaint. So what you are going to report, I can assure you, is going to help us in doing our work. Otherwise, we are also making an appeal to all the politicians, regardless of whether you are from the ruling party or opposition, that please, during this period, as you are looking for votes, kindly observe the human rights of Ugandans. Are we together? Yeah.
Tuenda kubebaza bagenzi bitu kandi banywani bitu abo tukwatanisa nabo abamahurire kandi abo tukutamunonge kitinisa erizo batumbarira rwanda bamwe abahababire mushango yabo kandi yitkuza kugenda nayo kumarebero bibiri kurego enchweramu ukwera bene agenda konka tuenda kutwara umudishogu okugamba nabagenzi bitu abesimbereho omnyanyetari yemwe abaragiro mu NRM nabandi abaryondi bija omukarura kakutidontuzamu ngu itwe turi abantu abo kumedembe iryo buntu kongo omutsi ryo ntukora nuturebamu okutiyobore dembe ry'abantu ombururo bo buturumu harumu okushabe butuga ombururu harumu obutetegerezana ombururu harumu ebintu bingi kandi ebikuretera mwatiyobore dembe ry'abantu kandi n'emishango. So okakuronda president wihanga na ba member of parliament tubashaba ubuteka tubashaba okwechitini sabagenzi banyu amwesimbire nabo buri omwe wena ayizire na manifesto yereka abantu bakurure buri omwe cyayizire korra community ahubwo kuba community yashemeriwe nitwe nk'abantu narshi nitwe nk'aba Uganda Human Rights Commission narishi itwabakuma amateka narishi aba kugira ngo mutatuyobore dembe ry'abantu twataho umunonga tubire turebe mbururo kugenda abantu bagabe senta ahantu bagura abantu bagura bariya kandi ebyo nibiretera abantu bayenda na kurwana bayenda kuretamo akati yabagura muzo mbururo burungi uronde omuntu abashemerire omubuteka mukuma amateka kandi umubase kuronda umwebembezi abashemerire omukabura akaturyo tuzamo kandi omukutera karuraka akutwena ngo buryo umwe ashohore arukuza kutera karurche ati n'umuharirize akatera karuru ahabwa constitution ubwo biyamuhira wareba ngo obugabe bwawe bwarubatirwa nobasa kwija mu offices zitwa Mbarara twine abantu abo kubasa kwakira omburungi regional offices abashema abarubirizi abakiruhura bona bagureta Mbarara mwijaho muri Mbarara rohababo mushango gwawe rugukururwa konka nitwe ukaba kumedembe ryo buntu rutwija kuba turyo tutambatambura myanye tari yemwe kureba karura ko katambara kandi kureba kagenda umusingi kandi imwe abaryo ko abaturukirize wareba ngo tuwahika police kabasa kuyamba n'abandi n'ebitongore bindi bitwendotere ndambeje ninyendo gihandike ahabo kube ndambeje wagitera turyaho kurukiriza kugira ngo wabasa kwetegerezwa kandi abantu itwe abakuma okutiyobore dembe ryawe twakwetegereza handike nambeje 08 00 narshi 08 narshi not 8 abantu bitu nibetegereza kigambo not 8 noti emwe ina ibiri noti ibiri reka njigarike mu abaturukirize mugetegereze je kugira ngo mubase kuyambubwa noti 8 noti emwe ina ibiri noti ibiri webare muno
Mariam Wangadya atude wano Honorable Simeo Nsubuga Commissioner Honorable Jacklet nange Shifrah Lukwago ibanda musango gumu Mbarara 3 Shema 2 Mitoma 2 Rubirizi gumu Kiruhura gumu Bushenyi gumu Nembali gumu eranga tukubiriza abo bonna abenyigira mu kalulu kana akagenda mu maaso baberenga bakumeddembe kubanga obujulizi omu bwe tukozesa wano buva mu ebyo ebiba biwandiikibwa bannamawulire n'obutambi oba bukwatibwa tusaba abalonzi n'abalondebwa bonna wamu baberenga bateeka amateeka gano ag'eggwanga mu nkola oyo yenna abafunye obuzibu asobola okuba ku nnamba eno 080044202 okulaba ng'afuna obwenkanya etali yakusasulibwa afuna obwenkanya okuva mu kakiiko aka Uganda Human Rights Commission.
Campaigns and elections, I didn't know that. Maybe after this session, those media houses can lodge a formal complaint with the Uganda Human Rights Commission. As for accrediting, formal accreditation of institutions or agencies to monitor elections as observers beyond the day-to-day coverage by the media, that is a preserve of the Electoral Commission. It is the Electoral Commission to give accreditation for election observer status. That is not our terrain. That's all I can say. And with that,
maybe they are opted out or they are victimized. We sure should know about this.
Those media which has been banned from covering elections, What I know what was on record last week, the executive director for Uganda Communication Commission, he went on record and said, please, members of the media houses, cover what electoral commission is going to give you. Don't cover outside. That is normal everywhere, members. Are we together? You know, sometimes, sometimes I remember I worked with you those years. Yeah. We have journalists who want to go extra mile. You report what ISA has given you. As far as electoral exercises are concerned in this country, the lead agency is electoral commission. Secondly, just a minute. You are aware for us, especially what you have been talking, that the observers. For example, an observer is coming from outside Uganda. It is the electoral commission to clear that person. Are we together? And they clear that person, putting the interest, the security interest of the what? Of the country. So to me, I don't expect that there will be media house which is going to be banned from covering elections. What you do, follow the right channels. What EC tells you, you give out that one. Don't do your own. Are we together? I think that's what I can see. Thanks a lot.
Amazina na Manuel. Nindaga Rwachitura ukaiza natunga emshango 2014 natunga ubufuta obabere ndi mu 10 umusirikare wa prison yantera yamuzya yantera umutwe ya umukono gukaramara habwenko nege eri hamtwaha kwehoboneza nabuta human rights omshango mbona ntwire nimpozo mushango go kwihe 2014 kushitsa hateri izobo bwacu mushango n'ecyamazima amagara noreba tugarupingana na sente nkamuga ndyaho konka naningenderana n'encamu ya koti nko kuyacamo ninkerezana nayo kandi ninsima na government egi ukureba ngo neti yamba tugenderaho itabantu bahansi ukureba ngo bamfireho munonga bashika kugira ngo bankaite ahandi nantene nshongana ukundi kwikereza nantene ncamu y'umushango ikerezana na koti imishango y'inabere ndiho mu come igikeja yaho hatahi natungire obuzubo bo mu come niho natabarize keje mu human rights kugira ngo yenyande abo kubori yakari umusirikare wa government ntene ikuntu kumbasa nyonkanye ko muntu niko kwezo nisa human rights ngo yenyande kunagarikira mukana garikayo no bumugo ne family yanjye ninyende kugerebera ibingi tinki biyekora bo kubati nkamuga konka hango bahereza amagara ibibyona yo ninkerezana na koto kuyaca mushango nyine songa n'icyo